Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. And as you can see from the title and the thumbnail, today we're going to be making some Italian potato gnocchi. If you want to make them with me, stay tuned and I'll show you how to. So here I've got three big sized big potatoes. I boiled them with some salt and I've took the skin off and mashed them like really finely. And then I've you can use them, them potato mashers, like them big ones that you squeeze, you put the potato in and you squeeze. You can use them ones. So as you can see here, I made a little well in the middle of the potatoes, put a teaspoon of salt and one large egg. I've mixed them well until you could see no more egg, and I've started adding some flour. So I've added about 5 tablespoons of flour right now, and um, I'm just mixing it. So the total amount of flour that you're going to need to put is about 2.5 cups to 2 3/4, but it really depends. And by the way, I've used all-purpose flour. As I was saying, it really depends on the size of your potatoes. Like if your potatoes are gonna absorb the flour, you're gonna need more. It depends. And right here I'm just mixing it and kneading it. So after you've incorporated the first like few 10 tablespoons in, you're going to get your batter, put it on somewhere, just like a table somewhere. I put it in the counter right here. Of course you're going to clean your counter first and dry it. I sprinkled some flour and I began kneading it. So in total I kneaded it for about 5 minutes of kneading. That is quite a long time, but you're gonna have to do it. So while I was kneading it, I did see some big pieces of potato in the dough. So if that happens to you, you can just like smash them or take them off and bin them. Of course, you don't have to do that if you like big pieces of potato in your gnocchi. You like you don't have to take them off. I found big pieces because I didn't use the machine where you squeeze your potatoes. I don't have it, so I didn't use it. But if you have it, feel completely free to use it. If you don't have it, however, you can still mash them really well, just with the potato masher, the ordinary one, just like that. As you can see, I'm carrying on sprinkling some flour. You know how much flour I sprinkled? I sprinkled so much, and obviously it stuck to the counter. And I kept on kneading it until it becomes soft, just like here, as you can see here. And I got my little knife thing, and I call it a knife thing. I divided my dough into 7 pieces. Here I was just making some little snakes with it, just like that, some snakes. I call them snakes, you can call them just like little lines. And then after I made them, I just got you can use a knife if you want, you can do this on a chopping board as well. I just began to cut them into even pieces. You can cut them into however big or small pieces you want. I made them medium, to be honest. And I sprinkled some flour so that when I put them on a plate or something, they wouldn't stick together. So that's what you should do too. So right here, of course, like if you want to decorate them or something, like for example, here I just made them plain. But for example, you could get a fork, get the gnocchi, like the little squares, after you cut them, and you could slide them, like put your finger on top and slide them through the fork, and that would give them just like some lines, just like a bit of a texture, when you're eating them. But I didn't want to do that, and plus it takes a lot of time, and I was in a hurry here, so I didn't do that. And as you can see, it's stuck together, but I still sprinkled them in flour. After you sprinkle them in flour, it's better like if you, you do this with your hands, it helps take some of the flour off. And yeah, I'm just gonna carry on doing this with all of the rest of my dough. So here are all of my gnocchi, as you can see, and I've got some boiling water ready with about a tablespoon and a half of a teaspoon and a half of salt to a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of salt, and I've let it boil. I've obviously tried one of the gnocchis, and put them in and see if it would rise, and it did. So I knew that the water was ready, and I started putting all my gnocchi in. As you can see right now, I've in the pan next to it, the red is the tomato paste, and I've put some oil in it, let the oil heat, chopped up some garlic, put it in, let the garlic get brown, put about 200 grams to 300 grams of tomato sauce or tomato paste. You can use diced tomatoes, whatever you want, whatever you normally use. And I put some pesto in it because I do not have basil. If you have basil, you can use it. And I've let the tomato sauce boil. I took my gnocchi in. All of the gnocchi could not fit, so I did 2 batches. When I put my first gnocchi, like a lot of gnocchi in, and the second one I didn't put as much. So the tomato sauce, you have to prepare that after you put the gnocchi in, so that while you stir it and you add all of the ingredients, the gnocchi is cooking. As you can see, when the gnocchi starts to rise, that's when you know that it's ready. My gnocchi still hasn't begun to rise. I'm just mixing it so that it doesn't stick to the bottom. And while I'm mixing that, I'm obviously going to mix my other pan, my tomato sauce. I also added to my tomato sauce one vegetable dice, and I've kind of broke it into little pieces and sparkled it on top, and then just mixed it. Now my gnocchi has started to rise, and I'm just getting the one that have started to rise and putting them into the next pan. So your gnocchi is going to start rising. That's obviously when you're going to know that it is ready, and you're going to start obviously chucking them into the tomato sauce. Both of the flames are going to be on medium/high. The one where you're boiling the gnocchi, is going to be on high, and the tomato paste is going to be on medium, because you don't want that to burn. Like, that's the important one. So here I finished my first batch, and I'm putting in my second batch, and of course I'm mixing. You cannot forget to mix the tomato paste with the gnocchi, because it will burn. Honestly, it burns really, really quickly. So just still cooking. It does take about 5 minutes for them to cook. It depends on obviously your flame, what heat you're using. So obviously remember to let them rise to the top, then you can start getting them, because or else they're not going to be cooked, they're going to be raw, and you're going to get food poisoning because the flour is going to be raw. So my second batch, as you can see here, it was done. So I began to get them and put them inside the tomato paste. So here's how you can make gnocchi. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. See you.